5 things you definitely missed about The Force Awakens. If you plan on watching Star Wars The Force Awakens, please note this video contains spoilers. You have been warned. Number 5. Daniel Craig's cameo as a Stormtrooper. This may be surprising to many, but do you remember that scene where Rey manipulates the mind of a Stormtrooper guarding her cell? The Stormtrooper who capitulates to Rey's Jedi mind tricks by releasing her from her restraints, opening the door for her escape, and dropping his weapon like she asked. Well, that very Stormtrooper happens to be actor Daniel Craig, famous for his roles as 007, James Bond in Skyfall and Spectre, just to name a few. What's even more bizarre about the fact is that the Stormtrooper played by Daniel Craig is called Stormtrooper JB-007. Number 4. Millennium Falcon chess game. Cast your eyes back to the moment where Finn accidentally switches on a chess game in the Millennium Falcon, or Dejarik, to be specific for all you Star Wars fans out there, which consists of various holographic, dangerous-looking species. The Dejarik game, which Finn triggers, is actually a continuation of the chess game between R2-D2 and Chewbacca in Star Wars Episode 4 A New Hope. The funny thing about this fact is that a piece which gets body slammed in the original chess game, in The New Hope, gets its revenge by hitting its antagonist with a mace. Number 3. Familiar voices. When Rey touches Luke Skywalker's old lightsaber and starts to have visions, there are several familiar voices which can be heard if you listen carefully. The voice of Obi-Wan Kenobi can be heard encouraging Rey with the words, "Rey, these are your first steps." However, the word Rey in the phrase is actually voiced by Sir Alec Guinness, who played the role of Obi-Wan in the original Star Wars trilogies, and the latter is of Ewan McGregor, who also played Obi-Wan, but in the Star Wars prequels. Number 2. The plan to destroy the Starkiller base. There are so many references in this one, here are a few of them. Firstly, the Starkiller base got its name from Luke Starkiller, which was George Lucas's original name of Luke Skywalker in the early drafts of Star Wars. Secondly, the Starkiller base itself is basically a bigger version of the Death Star, except is capable of destroying several planets as opposed to just one. When the Rebels hatch a plan to destroy the Starkiller base, it was a scene that shadows both New Hope and Return of the Jedi from the original Star Wars trilogies. Not only are Princess Leia and Admiral Akbar back together again, but the weakness in the Starkiller base turns out to be the thermal exhaust port, which, as it happens, to be the same fatal flaw in the Death Star. Moreover, the Rebel pilots depend on Han Solo to take down the base shield generators in order to strike, which echoes the original episodes. Number 1. Finn's ID number. Before Finn was actually named Finn, he served as a Stormtrooper alongside the First Order with the ID number of FN2187. This is actually a reference to the cell block where Princess Leia was imprisoned in Star Wars Episode 4 A New Hope. Additionally, the number 2187 is the title of a 10-minute abstract film in the 1960s made by Canadian filmmaker Arthur Lipset, which has a huge influence on George Lucas as a young film student. I'd also just like to take the time to say thank you very much, Ashley, for writing this amazing script, and also thank you for the fact that you just had an entire spoiler-filled fact episode for a movie I was really hoping to see without spoilers. Thank you very much for listening, by the way, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and all of that lovely stuff. And don't forget to tell your friends, your enemies, and basically everyone you know.